this video, me and my friends are going to discuss about wood and the environment. There are four different subjects on this topic, which are climate science basics, cycle analysis, invasive species, and other environmental factors. And this is our team lineup. As the first speaker, I'm going to talk about the first subject, which is the climate science basic. Carbon dioxide is one of the important components for trees to grow. The diagram shows where carbon origins from, where it is released, and how it goes back to the surrounding environment. From carbon cycle, the forest absorbs carbon dioxide and as it grows and releases oxygen to the surrounding. Trees from the forest, when used as wood, act as storage unit for carbon, and the carbon stored does not go into the atmosphere. The carbon only released slowly as the wood decay. Mass timber is a process introduced to replace concrete and steel with large amount of wood, especially in construction. When large buildings are built using mostly only wood, it will act as large storage for carbon, and this process can create less carbon dioxide and lessens the pollution risk. Wood science mainly gives benefits to the forest, such as the trees in the forest will shade the watershed in the forest and maintain the temperature of the water, which will directly protect population in the watershed. To obtain good wood, soil maintenance should be in good care, which will lead to filtering the water in the forest from unwanted impurities. The wood in the forest act as carbon storage, will help in filtering the air and gives off oxygen to the surrounding. Shelter wood cutting is one of the common tools in forestry, where big trees are remained to sit for the next generation. Trees absorb carbon as it grows and store carbon when used as wood, and as wood material it can be traded off for gasoline and coal.
Next, I'm going to share about wood life cycle analysis. First, trees are harvested from sustainable forests where a lot of trucks and loaders are involved. That includes electricity, manpower, and also high-end technologies which depending on geographical factors, weather, and many other factors. Secondly, the logs will be processed into raw products such as plywood, boards, and so on. Thirdly, these raw materials are utilized in buildings, furniture, papermaking by wood material supplier to consumers. Last but not least, after 50 to 60 years of usage, the wooden materials are either disposed or can be recycled into mulch for landscaping, used for biofuel, or pulp making for paper production. Hence, this reduces the need to cut down trees. Of course, during all of the processes, it requires inputs and outputs. For example, fuels and electricity are required to transport the logs and process them in the factories. On the other hand, greenhouse gases are released from manufacturing factories into the environment. At the end, all of the residues and the carbon storage can be reused or recycled in their own ways. All of these processes are regulated under Life Cycle Assessment (LCA). The goals are to update or revise energy and material input or output with production of softwood logs grown. They also ensure results are consistent with International Organization of Standardization 2006 protocols.
Next is invasive species. Invasive species are species that are not native and can grow and spread aggressively, mature quickly, and can invade an ecosystem, causing economic and environmental damage. Invasive species can be from plant, animal, insect, or disease. These are one of the examples of invasive species around the world. Ailanthus altissima is originally from China. It is invasive in West Virginia and South America. Feral pigs is invasive because it eats anything including native birds. It also spreads diseases such as brucellosis, which is harmful to human and other animals. Emerald ash borer is invasive to ash trees. Dutch elm disease is harmful to the elm trees. There are many ways to overcome invasive plant. One of the ways is by doing research, like research on hybrid plants, on hybrid species to have resistance towards a disease. Another way is study the wood properties and other parts of the plants to utilize the invasive plant. Next is mechanical control like mowing or chemical control using herbicides.
One of the environmental factors that will be discussed is land use. The demands on the wood supply are steadily increasing as the population of humans has risen. These have caused forested land exploitation to fulfill human needs such as fuels, construction materials, making furniture, and papers. Therefore, it is crucial to manage land use resources by taking the most cost-efficient way. That way, we can maintain the wood supply products from the forest and gain profit from it. The next environmental factors are the impact of supply and demand. In a country with ample wood resources, it has led to many manufacturing wood-based product business. As society become more developed, these manufacturers compete with high labor costs, manufacturing costs, and taxes. If they cannot compete with these increased expenses, most of them move to low-cost countries. At the same time, they start to import wood-based products to fulfill user demands. Some countries, mostly low-cost countries, did not have environmental regulation, which indirectly contributes to global deforestation problem. First, increase the intensity of control by working with individual landowners and creating taxes and incentives. Second, increase the use of plantation by growing high-yield plants. Thirdly, improve the conversion techniques of solid wood to high-quality engineered wood products. Last but not least, increase the use of non-wood products such as steel, concrete, and others. These strategies are essential to balance the rate of cut woods and the rate of growing trees worldwide. In other words, we are creating a sustainable forest.